Look, I have been a massive Anthony Joshua fan for many, many, many years. But after watching that Jake Paul fight, I don't ever want to see him box again. I don't want to see Tyson Fury and Turki Alalshkih give him the time of day. I don't. I don't want to see Tyson Fury fight him because Joshua doesn't deserve it. Take that £50 million and get out of the sport. Turki Alalshkih, I don't want to ever see him get Joshua on his cards again. I don't want to see it. He just doesn't deserve it whatsoever after that. That was an absolute shambles, a clown show, a shambles, diabolical stuff. Honestly, that Jake Paul fight, letting him go 6 rounds, holding back purposely. What a joke. He needs investigating as well. Already done a video on that, Joshua. He needs investigating, needs looking into after that. Shocking. I'm not buying the narrative of, oh, it was just ring rust. It wasn't ring rust. He could have bloody beat him up in that bloody first round. Could have killed him in that first round if he wanted to. Or could, because he didn't want to, and he shouldn't have killed him. He should have just gone to the bloody body and beat him down, but Joshua didn't even want to do that. So it just shows, there's something really dodgy about that. He can just take his money and get out of the sport. That's what he can do now. Because honestly, if you want to try and rig a fight like that, what a joke. It wasn't in a contract or anything because that's illegal, but he literally rigged the fight, scammed everyone, rigged the fight, holding back. The only proper shot he hit Jake Paul was the fight that ended the fight. Other than that, no combinations, no urgency, nothing from him whatsoever. No bursts or anything from Anthony Joshua. Let Jake Paul off the hook on purpose, made him look good on purpose. Well, tried to come out with as much credibility as possible. Joshua has damaged himself here, and I don't want to see Turki Alalshkih have anything to do with him again now. Because he just doesn't deserve it. Got paid big there. Okay, great for him. Now he can get out of the sport. Because if you're going to do that and mess everyone around like that, then he doesn't deserve anything else out of the sport now. Got all of his achievements. He's got that big bag. Okay, brilliant. Fair play. Get in a different lane now because clearly he's not serious. If you're doing that against Jake Paul, holding that purposely, letting him go 6 rounds for you, ruining your own legacy on purpose, then yeah, like you don't deserve a big fight. You don't deserve a proper fight with Tyson Fury or anything like that. It's a real shame because, again, I've been an Anthony Joshua fan for many years, but this is just the real sad truth that you got to say. There can't be any glazing or anything like that. This is the harsh truth here. This is the harsh truth. He doesn't deserve that Tyson Fury fight, and he deserves nothing from Turki Alalshkih. He deserves nothing from Turki Alalshkih whatsoever. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. Because he's a great guy to have around, but if you're doing that against Jake Paul, letting him off the hook like that, not even trying against him, purposely doing that, trying to make himself look bad, then clearly he does not care about his legacy whatsoever. And if you don't care about your legacy, then you shouldn't be allowed to fight. You shouldn't be allowed to get another massive payday from someone like Turki Alalshkih. You shouldn't be allowed a massive payday to fight, your British nemesis in Tyson Fury. It shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed after that. An absolute shambles. If you do that, you can just leave the sport now because that's it. He take his money and just run with it now because Turki Alalshkih shouldn't owe him anything. Tyson Fury definitely shouldn't owe him anything after that. Daniel Dubois doesn't owe him a rematch or anything whatsoever. The fact Daniel Dubois and the team were even talking about a rematch with Joshua, what a joke now, because he owes him nothing after that. He beat him up in 5 rounds. He owes him absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And especially after that now, that's just further away from than ever, honestly. If you're, again, showing mercy like that, showing no urgency against Jake Paul, giving that kind of talk in the build-up and then doing that, what a joke. What a joke. There's clearly some rigging going on there as well. And if you're trying to, again, wasn't in a contract, but he's thought in his mind, it's basically rigging. If you're holding back against someone, it is rigging. It is rigging the fight because it's not showing what actually should have happened. It's not showing what actually would have happened. So it is rigging. That is a form of rigging a fight. It is. It's a form of rigging a fight. That is what Anthony Joshua has just done. People don't understand it. That is a form of rigging a fight. Holding back like that. Turki Alalshkih shouldn't want anything to do with him after that. Obviously, he wouldn't try and rig it against Tyson Fury. But either way, if you're pulling some antics like that, you don't deserve anything from the sport anymore. Simple as that. You do not deserve anything from the sport anymore. I really don't like talking about AJ like this. But again, it is just the harsh bloody truth. It is the harsh truth on it all. If you want to rig fights, if you want to mess around, if you want to hold back in the fashion and manner that Anthony Joshua just did, then he doesn't deserve the time of day. He doesn't deserve any more money out of the sport. He got paid $50 million to hold back and rig a fight. Okay, brilliant. Don't fight again now. You've got money which, does your kids great for the rest of their future. Fantastic. He's now got all of that. He doesn't need anything else from the sport, and he doesn't deserve anything else from the sport. It's that simple now. It's that simple. That was diabolical, that fight against Jake Paul. Letting, because that's what happened. Letting Jake Paul go 6 rounds with you on purpose. Letting him come out of the fight with credibility. Letting him come out of the fight with respect. People would have said respect to him anyway for getting in there and taking a proper knockout. But that's not what's happened. That is not what's happened. Joshua, honestly, he's like, it wasn't a great performance. Because you weren't, even wasn't allowed to have a good performance. So he just purposely just didn't care. I was just, whatever. I mean, again, he could have killed Jake Paul if he wanted to. But he could have there were so many different ways where he could have just came out of it looking good, going easy. There were so many different ways. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's such a shame. Such a bloody shame now, honestly. Because boxing's now damaged after that. That fight has made boxing take a massive hit. It is literally in the bin. A year ago, we had Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury, the rematch. Now we add this.